Welcome everybody. So welcome to our first UFI Connects of this year, actually. My name is Nick Doug-Gilmore, the Regional Director for Europe for UFI. I'm just going to give you some very brief housekeeping notes. So please introduce yourselves in the chat, let us know where you're from. And if you have any questions during the UFI Connect, please just type them in the chat or raise your hand and I will come to you and talk to you, and then you'll be able to ask our speakers directly. So we will have a recording of this, which we will share with everybody later on. We will have a little questionnaire that we would love you to answer. It'll take 2 minutes again in a little bit. And that's it. Without further ado, I will hand over to Barbara, who will introduce our speakers and today's topic.
Yes, good morning, everyone. This is Barbara from Brussels. We operate the European Exhibition Industry Alliance, Your Voice in Brussels. So we deal with European affairs, legal affairs, political affairs, but also, advocacy, but also practical items. And this is why we're here today. We are offering you a very practical information session and cooperation invitation on IP. So we all know that IP is very important. We have design, we have trademarks, we have patents, we have other IP like utility models or even business secrets. And some of these can be protected. This is very important for our own sector. We all know that we have to register our exhibition brands, for example. But it's also very important for our clients. And I'm sure that most of the organizers who are here have had problems on their trade shows where there were a few rows perhaps on whose design a product was, and etc. So at trade shows, sometimes piracy copies or imitations are detected. And you may remember that approximately since 2005, also UFI, EMECA a lot, and also on EU level, we were busy with this topic, how to help our exhibitors protect their intellectual property and how to deal with these rows that we have sometimes in the shows. You might also remember that EIA, UFI and EMECA, we took action by partnering also with the IPR help desk from the European Union. And some of you, I'm sure, have these colleagues at their shows to provide information or training. So the European Union has two institutions on this matter. One is the European Patent Office in Munich. That's not what we are dealing today here with. And then there is the European Union Intellectual Property Office in Alicante in southern Spain. And I'm happy to welcome here Richelle Spiekerman, Suzanne Hogan, and Alessandro Corrado. They're all from the Ideas Powered by Business project, and this is what they are going to present here today. We have, as EIA, so UFI and EMECA, we have signed an agreement with EUIPO to partner up and participate in these Ideas Powered for Business program. And we will hear from the colleagues now what it is, what is in it for organizers and for exhibitors, and how to cooperate. We will first have a few presentations, 3 in a row, or one presentation with 3 speakers. There will be Q&A. If you have a question, perhaps please type it into the chat and we can then either take it immediately or in the end. Then already to announce, there will even be a follow-up meeting for those who are interested in entering a more concrete cooperation. And also there will be a survey at the very end. So I will just hand over to Richelle in the very beginning. Very happy to have you with us.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Nick, for this invitation to be here today. And indeed, yes, we look forward to present today a bit what the EUIPO and specifically what we are doing for EU SMEs under the Ideas Powered for Business program. And so we'll take you through this presentation to tell you a bit what this is about. And indeed, very happy to be collaborating with UFI and EMECA and to see what we could do there together in regards to generating awareness about intellectual property. So I'll share my screen to get the presentation up. And let me see, here I am. Okay, so So maybe to begin and to start from where the EUIPO, the European Intellectual Property Office, who we are, well, we are an EU agency that is offering IP right protection to innovations about the EU and beyond. And we are, as Barbara mentioned, we're based in Alicante. We've been established since 1994 there. And our core business there is the registration of trademarks and design. And the office, I'd say over the course of 2.5 decades now, has really tried to contribute decisively to the modernization of the intellectual property landscape in the EU. And it's worked with different partners, IP offices across the EU on common projects, all with one aim, I'd say, to really benefit all the users of the EU trademark and design system, wherever and whoever they choose to seek protection. At the EUIPO, we also have a specific department, which is called the European Observatory on Infringement of Intellectual Property Rights. And the EUIPO is engaged there in providing evidence-based information through studies about the importance of intellectual property for both policymakers and citizens alike. We're employing at the office over 1,600 employees, and we have 5 official working languages: English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish. However, we're processing all the different applications in the 23 official EU languages. We are registering more than 200,000 EU trademarks a year, and I'd say up to 110 designs. So again, all in all, this is where both our colleagues, we are based here at the EUIPO. So maybe to give you a bit of the start of the journey and why we are here today, and the reason why the EUIPO started a specific program focused on generating awareness about intellectual property for EU SMEs is that thanks to one of the studies that our observatory made, it's the SME scoreboard, which was launched in 2019, and we have actually a new study of the SME scoreboard launching this week actually, has showed a striking figure that only 9% of EU SMEs actually own or registered intellectual property rights. So this is a very large, small proportion of the EU SMEs being aware also of the large competitive advantage and the benefits that intellectual property can bring really in this knowledge intensive market that we have. No? So other studies were showing as well, and this one is from the beginning of this year, February 2022, was showing of a high growth, about high growth companies, and it was showing that those SMEs that actually in fact did have an intellectual property rights had 68%, up to 68% higher revenue per employees than those who do not. So again, various studies about the importance and about the benefits that intellectual property can provide, but then on the other side of the coin, how little it is actually being used here in the EU. And this study was also showing what was the main reason for this not being used, and a lack of awareness and information was actually the main reason why. And therefore the EUIPO, and I'll move on to the next slide, part of its strategic plan, which started back in 2022, set up a dedicated program focused on SME to generate this awareness of intellectual property. Because of course we are aware, and in many occasions intellectual property is seen as illegal or an obscure term, complicated and not easy accessible, and therefore this program now intends to tackle that. And we'll be showing you, and my colleagues as well will be sharing a bit more further the different steps that we are taking there to reach out now to those SMEs and to make intellectual property much more accessible and easier to use. And of course, this is in line with the further, I'd say, the 3 main pillars of the EUIPO strategic plan and the IP network, IP excellence and IP innovation, because really we, from the office, the EUIPO, we're really trying to deliver this IP value for both businesses and citizens, which is also very much in line with the IP action plan that the Commission also launched in November 2022. As well, a bit of the context as to why we are here as well, and then through, as Barbara mentioned, we're very happy to be collaborating both with EMECA and with UFI, we have established a network, an Ideas Powered for Business network, where the office has started to engage with new partners that are out there and that are in the SME ecosystem, or those that are really in direct contact with SMEs. The UIPO traditionally has had a long years of experience and collaboration with different IP offices at national level, and more in the IP world. But now for the first time, really trying to partner with those who are in direct contact with SMEs. You are the ones that are really living this day-to-day business and seeing the importance, or where the gaps and the needs are in regards to intellectual property, and what we could do, in regards to generating this awareness, and to make sure that that message then is reached, and that the relevant SME then takes the decision whether they need to protect or not, whether it should be at national, regional, EU level, or beyond. So very happy to be here today, and I'll pass the floor over to my colleague Susie to explain a bit more what this entails, the Ideas Powered for Business program, and then later on what kind of activities we could be doing together, and receive your feedback in that regard. Susie.
Hi, thank you, Richelle. Thank you, everyone, for the invite. Yes, so as Richelle mentioned, we have an Ideas Powered for Business network, which you're part of. And this is just one of the initiatives that we have as part of our Ideas Powered for Business program, that in turn, as Richelle also mentioned, was born as part of our strategic program 2025. This is because, well, SMEs, as you know, represent 99% of businesses in the EU. And what we really want to do is we aim to empower them, like you do as well, but in our case, by using IP rights to really protect their ideas and increase their competitive advantage. So to do this, we realized that we really needed to join forces with others like you, and help create a network of networks to help reach out to SMEs, and in our case, raise IP awareness. So we want to consolidate what's already out there and use what we have. Now, as part of our Ideas Powered for Business program, we also worked with the Commission to create a fund to help SMEs register their IP rights. And we're working on other useful and centralized services for SMEs, such as a pro bono service or an easy filing system where artificial intelligence actually helps guide SMEs to file their trademarks. So we've also have a special Ideas Powered for Business website to centralize all of these services. So I'm just going to walk you through some of these services now, and the fund. So first service I mentioned was pro bono. It's officially called Free Personalized IP Consultations. And this is, well, we think and we hope, and feedback says it is, a great kickoff point, yeah, for EU SMEs that have no basic IP knowledge whatsoever. So what it is, it's a free service, and we launched a call for interest for IP law firms, lawyers, and other IP specialists to be volunteers. So they offer this service on a free basis, and at the moment we have, it says here, more than 260. I checked the stats this morning. We actually have 265 providers from across the EU. And what happens is, yeah, and the latest stats say that we have matched 1,717 SMEs with providers. And here Richelle has just put up the screen to explain the steps. So it's very basic steps. So you request this service. We try to make it as easy as possible, yeah? Then the SME, the business, receives a list, and they choose from that list one contact that they would like to make. And then they inform us that the contact has been made. I saw a question come up there, but I can't read it, sorry.
Sorry, Susie, that was me. I've actually wrong-footed you.
Sorry.
I was asking for questions, but carry on.
Okay, sorry, I can't see, I can only see part of it. Sorry, thank you. Sorry, Nick. Right, so this is the basics. So if we go on to the next one, so basics, say you've got the information, say we've raised awareness on what IP is, okay? And one of the other two issues that I think Richelle mentioned before is there's two main reasons, or if she didn't, I'll say there's two main reasons why SMEs don't use IP rights. One main reason is lack of information, and reason number two is money, yeah, because it's seen as a huge investment when you might not actually have anything, yeah. So we, first of all, our main objective with different communication strategies and using you as network members is really to raise IP awareness, that people understand what an asset IP can be for businesses, not just to protect ideas, but also to promote them, to get finance, to attract investment, yeah? So once that's been done, then comes stage two, how to pay for this, where to get the money from. So with this in mind, the UIPO, our office, co-funded with the Commission a fund of 47 million. Now, this was done in close collaboration with national IP offices as well. It's important to point out. But here, you as UFI could really help play a huge role in helping us share the word, for example, that this fund exists and reach out to SMEs. Because your fairs are really the platform, a place where people exhibit their ideas, their creations, innovations to the world, and they really need to protect them. So we would like to stop speaking and show you a video, if Alessandro, my colleague, could, of a testimonial of a startup that actually used this fund and is now flourishing. So it's a very short video. Thank you, Alessandro. No, we can't hear it. We can't hear it, Nick. Is there a way to share the audio?
Well, I'm reading the subtitles, but we'll try.
It made me realize how much waste it generates, and I saw that there is a great niche of the market to create a business that will help parents to save time, space, money, and also will have a positive environmental impact. They only pay 39 euros per month, and they receive 5 items every month, dry cleaning services included, and shipping services included. It's a rotating system. We keep renting it to other families, and this will reduce the waste that generates by textile. Because I'm expanding to other European countries, I want to have my trademark being registered in Europe. When I went to the EUIPO website to apply for the European trademark registration, I found about the SME fund, and actually it was very easy because it's straight on the website. I think having my brand name registered will help me to expand further in European countries and have my company's name protected.
Thank you. Thank you, Alessandro, for sharing. See, that's a wonderful testimonial from someone who used IP rights to really make their business flourish and move on. So we would like to quickly show you or explain to you in a nutshell how this fund works. So it's basically divided, and please ask any questions. Okay, it looks like a lot of information, but I'm going to make it real simple. So basically it's divided into 2 vouchers, right? And in voucher 1, we have something called IP scan, which is like the next level up to pro bono service. So it's done in many EU countries. It is done in Belgium, and it's organized by, it's basically national IP offices designate IP experts. And they interview the startup, and they really examine their business model, their products and their services, and their growth plans, and they come together and they write up and create a complete IP strategy, a full report with lots of best practices and recommendations to do. And as you can see, this is the expense of this is covered 90%. So it's practically, I can't say free, but it's extremely economical, even perhaps for a startup right at the beginning stage, yeah? Now, voucher 2 also includes trademarks and designs at all levels. For example, we have a European trademark would normally cost 850 euros to be registered, a basic one. And of course, of this, we would refund 75%. So the final cost would be €212 to have this brand, this trademark registered in the whole of the EU. And the same for designs, because many of your exhibitors work with designs as well. A European design costs €300 to register normally, but with the fund, it would only cost €75. Now, our office, our basic, what we do is trademarks and designs. We don't normally work with patents, which is where voucher number 2 comes in, yeah? So why do we subvention, why do we fund patents as well? Well, the thing is that we do this in collaboration, not only with the Commission, but also with national IP offices. And national IP offices do work with patents. So therefore, we also fund 50% of patent fees at national level. Okay, so far over 17,000 people have applied for the fund. This is yesterday's information, and work is in progress to create the next edition, approved edition. Right now, this is the process that people have to follow. So an SME, you go to our website, an SME, you apply for the grant. You have to wait, here it says 15 days, but we're down to 10 days and sometimes less. To receive the okay that you've got the grant. Normally, if you comply with the conditions, you get the grant, and then you start your IP activities. That is, you apply for whatever you want to apply for, and then afterwards you get reimbursed. So it's a simple step procedure, and this is it. This is our new website, our Ideas Power for Business website, and our aim is to eventually make this a one-stop shop to really help guide SMEs in all areas, thanks to collaboration, again, with IP offices and, of course, you as our network members. Okay, and that's it from my part, from my side for now. We will explain afterwards some communication activities that we do, but that will be included as Alessandro's part. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Richelle. And thank you to Nick and Barbara for organizing this very first kickoff meeting with all of you. So my part is focused on, let's say, some potential area of collaboration together with you, because we identify some areas that could be potentially interesting for you as trade fair organizer, but also in particular to support your own exhibitors and your target audiences. So that's why in my presentation, we will try to explain the process we would like to propose you in terms of defining some potential synergies together. If you can move to the next slide, please. So basically, we do foresee that we can collaborate together in the field of communication and in the field of training to start. As Richelle was saying at the very first beginning, our main aim is to generate awareness on IP, and to do that, of course, we do rely on this new Ideas Power for Business network and all the members that are potentially interested to work together with us. At this stage, I can tell you we are defining a communication toolkit, and that's why we would like to start proposing today some potential options in terms of digital leaflet, banners, but also newsletter that we would like to share with you and to collect your feedback, because we do believe that this is also a good occasion for us to understand, for those players that work on daily basis with businesses, what works better during the trade fairs, but also before the trade fairs and ex post. So one, let's say, big area of collaboration for us would be to have a better understanding on which are the main communication tools that can work for trade fairs. Later on, we will share with you some options. We are working on some banners and digital leaflet translated in all EU languages. Another option will be to empower and enlarge maybe the state of play of your own website if you're interested to have a dedicated session on IP. And we would like to share with you some of the most relevant information on the SME initiatives, but also on the tools and services available at office level. And this, we think, could be a very nice way for collaborating together, because you will receive first-hand information on what's going on at European level on IP from our side. And of course, social media, because we do know that nowadays this is one of the best way to reach out to users. The second area of collaboration is concerned on trainings. We will be happy to have a bilateral exchange with you, with those of you who are interested in participating in a pilot initiative, in order to empower the staff of your organization. We do have in EUIPO a dedicated academy, so we will be more than happy to share with you all the training available in different languages on IP matters. There are different type of webinars, more technical or less technical. For you to know, every Tuesday morning, our academy is used to launch a dedicated session as a webinar available for free. And we think that this could be a very nice way to provide some expertise on some specific core element that you consider appropriate to know more. Next slide. As I was mentioning before, you can see here, there are several materials already available, some banners, some roll-up that can be used during the fairs directly or ex ante. All the materials are, of course, free of charge, and because we do believe that this is a way from our side to share what is available for end user and SMEs mainly, and we do rely that through our collaboration together on bilateral base, we can support you in terms of sharing this material directly to your businesses. You can see also a newsletter if you want to subscribe. This is also a very nice and straightforward way to be informed on what's going on at EUIPO level. For the training session, as was mentioned before, let's say we are developing a kind of modular approach that we can scale up according to your needs on the different type of IP rights, but also concerning, let's say, the horizontal aspect, for example, the different topics that are related to IP, for example, IP evaluation, the enforcement part. So according to your needs, we can collect, we will see later on, we will collect in bilateral meetings your specific need, and then through the collaboration with UFI and EMECA, we can then further develop a specific ad hoc training session. And the idea is, of course, to empower your staff. So what's next? We will share after the meeting, a dedicated survey. For us, this is a very good way to understand better, start to understand better your level of knowledge on IP and what are your needs and what your expectation. And as a follow-up, we already foresee, and I would like to thank you again, Nick, for already start sharing this information. We already foresee the launch of a kickoff meeting for a pilot initiative in collaboration with EMECA members next 5th of October at 11. And in that occasion, we will go a bit further. So we will start sharing with you more detailed information about the potential of our collaboration. And then little by little, all over the rest of the year, we would like to have some bilateral meetings together to start to understand, to know each other, of course, and to start to understand better what are your needs and how we can best accommodate them. And next year, we can start implementing some potential collaboration together in some specific fairs according to your availability. Now, we would like to have a very open discussion for any kind of question or comments from your side. In the last slide, you will see our contact details, and I will start sharing also the survey, because we do know that it's always good to fulfill in the real time, but then of course we will share it again together with this presentation. Here you see all our contact details. So thanks again, and looking forward to start collaborating with you.
Thanks a lot to all of you for sharing this initiative and also giving concrete examples of what could be done, what could we expect. So yeah, I'm calling for questions here if anyone has questions, or the other way around, we can also perhaps have two icebreakers who have already worked on this topic. I see Claude here. Perhaps you can give an example from what you have already implemented at your shows and what are the main important points from your experience on the floor. May I ask you, Claude, to give us a quick info from what is happening in Geneva?
Yes, thank you, Barbara. Hello, all of you. I'm happy to share this with you. What we've done in, well, we are not part, Switzerland is not part of EU, so I don't know if we can be part of this afterwards. This was one of my points. But having said that, we worked with the EUIPO in Geneva. As you know, the EUIPO sits in Geneva, and we launched a fast-track procedure if like a patent is taken by another exhibitor within a show. So that has been done with the watch event, with the car show, with other like B2B international events, and it worked pretty well. So it exists. It's there. Maybe we could I don't know, take this example for others. Up to you.
Thank you, Claude. And I think what you proposed is very practical, in fact. Also in your example, I mean, it is more an intervention when already something went wrong, but as we all know, awareness and preparation is key. So if we can help our exhibitors to come to the show prepared and have everything registered and nothing will happen, this will be, of course, the best. So I think it is a very easy way to incorporate your suggestions already of the information material, which is very, very easy on the show website, for example. And it's an incentive because you can even give either pro bono advice or even a voucher for the registration. So it could be really attractive. Do we have any other question here or anyone who wants to say something? Juan, I see you there. You know, we know that in Spain there are several organizers who have implemented something in that respect. Could you perhaps comment? Hello, good to see you. You're still muted.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yes, I've been listening all your participation, and I don't know, I don't have much information about our members who are implicated in this area. I cannot inform you very much about this. I'm sorry.
Okay, but we were in touch with this other item that we are pursuing on having the new design regulation accept the exhibition priority certificate. But that's another item. Let's not complicate things too much.
Okay,
but,
we have some information in our website so that our members and all companies can have more information about their intellectual rights, so what they can do through the exhibitions. That's all. That's the only information that we provide to our members and to other companies.
Just for your understanding, Juan is managing the Spanish Association of the exhibition industry. So he is sort of a multiplier to other multipliers. And of course, it is exactly an example that also the association should all put up this information on their websites. So we can be part of the chain, in fact. Yeah, but I know this is perhaps of interest to you, Alessandro, Richelle, and Suzanne, that in Valencia there is some activity with dispute resolution, the same in Barcelona on not all the shows. And I'm not sure if they have something in Madrid, but Valencia for sure, in the ceramics industry. And in Barcelona also they have a cooperation with the court to have very quick resolution of disputes. But still, this is the last step when everything went wrong, and we want to really have not at all this happen. So, okay. Nick, do you see any other question or?
I think Berislav had a comment.
Ah, Berislav. Hi.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody from Zagreb, Croatia. So definitely very interesting topic. Thank you for presentation and sharing the information. Like Juan, so I don't have the knowledge about the organizers in the region, not only in Croatia, but in Southeast European and Central European region to deal with this topic, but definitely I believe it can be very interesting for the exhibition industry, organizers, visitors, and normally for the exhibitors. Since we are very close to chambers in, for example, in Croatia and Slovenia, I will check what's going on here in terms of small and medium-sized companies. And I would be very happy to participate if this next seminar you are planning in October will be online, so to take part and to learn a little bit more about it, to be able to share with small and medium-sized companies. Also in Croatia, there is a lot of startups going up, very successful ones, not only here, but in regions. So that might be also very interesting to share with them, because I'm part of Association for Artificial Intelligence here in Croatia. So I believe that maybe such project and such initiative like you presented today can be of interest for them as well. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments, and indeed we're very open to listen to also to your needs and where you are seeing there could be an opportunity, you know, to serve that information, because we always say, like, we could be developing all these supportive initiatives such as the fund, etc., but it needs to reach the right hands, no? So we within the program, we really would like to listen to your needs and where those potential opportunities are, whether if it is before the problem arises, as Barbara was saying, or afterwards as well. I mean, we'll be trying to cover the full spectrum, but to listen to you and where you believe there would be a good placement to really support that, so that things are the information is reached correctly, and then sound decisions can be taken. No, so yes, so thank you. Any feedback that you can be giving, and we look forward to collaborating and developing then the appropriate tools and measures so that could support you. And
thank you.
Yeah, very up. And also, as you mentioned, the chambers, there is an overlap in your partnerships, huh? Because you have Euro chambers and they have the national chambers, and then there are local chambers. So I think it can be top down or bottom up. There is always, as we are in the middle and connecting everyone, there will be many touch points.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we also, I mean, within, as mentioned, we collaborate closely with the different national IP offices as well, no? So in that regard, for example, if there's specific support for Croatia or for any other country, I mean, we would liaise as well internally within the national IP offices to get them on board as well, to ensure that the right information, and again, language-wise as well, that is then covered.
Yeah, we can check that as well. So we are in close touch with the ministry and chambers as well. But I would say this is the news for me. So definitely there was not so much information in the market here. So obviously maybe the national body for IP is not maybe sharing this information yet with the members. So it's I think it's good to know, and thank you very much once again. We'll keep in touch and hopefully do some things together.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Great. Could we come back to the question that Claude had also before explaining what they do on their shows, whether, for example, Palexpo Geneva, which are based in Switzerland, if they could perhaps participate or not in this initiative. I suppose SMEs can, because if they register for the EU, no matter where they come from, I suppose, I don't know whether they only can benefit whether they're from the EU or European Economic Area, or I don't know what exactly, where you have the limit?
Yes. No, so I mean, indeed, of course, anybody can register for an EU trademark, and we also work very closely with EUIPO. It's a long-term partner with whom we collaborate very closely. So perhaps through there's also different initiatives that we could be doing together. It is true that the different free personalized consultation, for example, or the SME fund, the criteria is that to be able to benefit to that, it has to be an established EU SME. So that
no
is
Switzerland.
That is criteria, yeah.
Okay.
Or UK.
Or UK, yes.
However, in principle, it's registering for EU.
Yes,
registration is open for anyone worldwide.
Indeed, and the information is available for anybody. Likewise, the website that we're doing, or any of the programs, for example, in regards to information that we are setting, of course, that this is available. It would just be those components for SMEs where there is any financial incentive, etc. They would have to comply with that criteria. But I mean, in regards to the information, etc., that is for the whole world, I would say, of course.
Okay, so even in Switzerland, the organizers, for example, could sort of integrate the information on the IP registrations into their website, as they have clients not only from Switzerland but from the EU. So it would still be relevant, I would say, Claude, for your clients, for your exhibitors, and perhaps also for some visitors.
But perhaps we could also have like a separate then bilateral call where we could discuss, up to where we can go and what would be beneficial, no? But yeah.
Okay, great. Claude, you want to say something, or is it a clapping hand?
He's clapping.
Ah, okay, perfect. Great. All right. Any other question for the moment? I don't see anything in the chat. Anyone raising hand? Could we perhaps, may I ask you, Barbara, for AUMA, which is the German Association of the Exhibition Industry and has a very special setup. It also includes the exhibiting industries. So are there any news from in this field in Germany? Have you had lately any reports on what was going on in the shows? Do you know who of the members are still running campaigns or help desks?
This is, oops, sorry.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, everything is restarting, and also this topic. I had a chat with Leonard Röhr from the APM. I think you know him. And yeah, the companies asked for support to keep up the campaigns, to restart them, and yeah, that's it from Germany.
Thank you. It's interesting. This is an organization. So Barbara works for AUMA, which is the Association of the German Industry. The organization she just mentioned, it's called Arbeitskreis Produkt- und Markenpiraterie, if I'm not mistaken. And by the way, who runs it exactly? It was founded on behalf of, I think, of one member who had experienced a lot of trademark piracy. Was it Stiel?
Maybe Stiel with the
I think so. And it's an initiative to help promote IP rights. And it's a private initiative, in fact, but they are very influential and participate also in these campaigns in different trade shows. So it's perhaps also someone we could connect to you, in fact, on this.
And also perhaps, yes, to learn from that experience, know how they have done that. And how has it worked? What has been best received, for example, by the public, no? And perhaps even an example of a best practice, no?
Yes, why not? We can do that after the meeting, bring you in touch, huh? I think I still have his contact. Okay, so well, if there are no more questions, Nick, I think we could perhaps wrap up by inviting everyone again to take the survey. And also then, if you're really interested in exploring what you could be doing with this initiative, to join the meeting on the 5th of October. We will share, did we share the link already in the chat, or we can put it into the chat? And
yes,
we did.
Ah, yeah, it's there. Okay. All right. I think we can give our thanks to the speakers from the EUIPO, and really thank you for this initiative. I think it's a very good idea also to connect in the networks and get ideas to better serve the clients. And we hope that we can be of use with our millions of contacts every year by the organizers with the end users of your services. And if they're well protected, they do better business. We've learned that it will be to everyone's benefit, especially also to the shows. So thank you again. Nick,
yeah,
do you want to do the wrap up?
Yes, why not? So thank you, Barbara, and thank you, Alessandro, Richelle, and Susie for joining us. Just to mention to everybody, the recording will be up on the website, and we'll email it to you later on, as will be a link to take the survey. Please take the survey. And then, as people have mentioned, the pilot scheme will be on October the 5th. There'll be a follow-up meeting. It'll be really good to get, if anyone wants to take part in that. So just literally a couple of final notices for those of you among us who are UFI members. Pascal, next slide, just to join us in Oman. We have our Global Congress coming up the 14th to 17th of November. And on Wednesday, the 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning, we have an UFI European Chapter meeting. So again, it's a chance to discuss various issues and perhaps, you know, again, we'll see where we are with this project and we can talk about this further. So just remains for me to give a final thanks to our diamond sponsors, which are Thailand's TSED, the Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, Qatar Tourism, and Freeman, and thank our speakers once again. So thank you all and see you soon, hopefully.